This morning I have a special guest appearance here in the spirit room, and this is super cool for me. So I've got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tehuti Thoth. Like, hello? I don't know when I signed up for a celebrity appearance, but I'm fucking stoked on it. So I'm gonna shuffle the cards while I talk to you, because as I was sitting here like meditating, connecting with him, big fan by the way, he had so much to say, and he's like, you gotta get going right now, like it's just all gonna spill out, you gotta start talking. So I don't know that the cards are gonna do anything, but I have them and I'm gonna shuffle them. I need to warm them up, so I just figure channel during this one, warm them up, figure it out later, you know? So first of all, I thought this was a message for me, but he's saying no, tell it. Like, tell it. It's not just for you. Everything I'm going to say is not just for you, so just tell it. So I thought it was just for me because he said to write, and I'm a writer, and that's what I do. So I have a strange relationship with writing sometimes because of, like, life. So, sorry. But he's saying write. So not writing for... I'm just going to translate at this point. Not writing for... any purpose, like shadow work or writing for a goal or something, just write. And he wants me to explain to you, sorry, my work is like blowing up my phone. He wants me to explain to you guys the stream of consciousness writing that I used to do in college. So, oh my goodness, the chat is blowing up. So in college, when I was in my creative writing classes, I had a teacher who used to make us do this exercise every single morning, and listen to the message, take it how it resonates, but put it in your position, okay? So if you're not a writer, if you're an artist, if you're a runner, whatever it is, right? Put it in your position, but like listen to the story. So when I was in college, we had this teacher in my creative nonfiction class that had us do a stream of consciousness writing every morning to get us like ready to write. And that was just 10 minutes. She'd like set her little timer, and we just write, like follow our train of thought, but let our fingers write it. Kind of like channeled writing, like writing your consciousness, right? Like, I don't know how to explain it in words. It sounds so weird. But that's all you have to do is just write what you're thinking. Like, don't edit what you're writing. Don't fluff it up. Don't make it better. Don't do anything. Just stream of consciousness, write. And from there, we could see not only how we actually think, because there's a quote that our teachers, like in English all over the place, used to use was, how do I know what I think until I see what I say? So not only did that practice allow us to see what we're thinking, either in the moment, that day, overall, if there was any patterns, whatever, the way that we think, getting to understand our inner voice, but also seeing that you genuinely can produce a whole fuck ton of writing off of absolutely nothing. Like, it's just proving the point that you don't have to be writing for something, right? You don't have to write towards a goal. Everybody that is not a writer by passion is a writer by force, right? In school, we have to write essays, we have to write fucking like projects and shit, and nobody ever gets to just write for fun. And I think that that's why a lot of people don't like writing, aside from the hand cramps and whatnot. But it's like, nobody really understands the absolute beauty that is the dance of writing, you know, because they were forced to write by the school system. They weren't taught to appreciate writing. They weren't taught to love it. So again, however that translates for you, whatever your thing was, that was your writing exercise, right? Your writing class, put that in your position, do the thing, right? Maybe it is writing. Maybe actually open yourself up to the idea of writing one day for 5 minutes. You don't even have to do 10 minutes, right? Set a time, challenge yourself, set a timer, 5 minutes, pen and paper, right? You can type if you want, because it's still writing. I type because, let's be honest, pen and paper is slow as fuck. But sometimes I do have to write pen and paper because there are some things that are just better said on paper. I don't know how to explain it, right? Better said with handwriting ink, you know, like the power and magic of handwriting ink, not just typing and printing. So first, we are being called to explore ourselves through writing. Next, we are... what was the next thing? Initially, he had like flooded my head with so many things at the same time and was like, okay, go. Hold on. I get it. Okay. He's saying, fall in love with life again through the lens of something that you love, right? So not through a person, not through a job, not through your children, right? You, through your eyes, before all of life happened. Who were you? What did you really used to love doing? Like, what made your heart soar? What made you feel free? And sorry to be a super mega weenie today, but there's another quote that I used to really love that said, where I create, there I am true. And that's you. When you're creating, when you're doing something, that's you. And sometimes we need to balance our everyday life with a little bit of just us, whether that means like alone time or just us in our heads, you know, whether that be meditating or just monotonously doing something that you can do mindlessly, which is something by passion, right? I still to this day stream of conscious write because sometimes I feel like I've got too many fucking words in me and I need to write. I don't know how to explain that to people, but that's what makes me write. That's what compels me. That's what has always compelled me. That's why I'm on social media, because I can talk for fucking ever and never fucking stop. But in actual real life, I don't talk to anybody. I don't like people. I mean, I like the nature of people, but I don't particularly like people. I don't particularly like social situations. Shocking, huh? Because I talk a lot. It's just a gift that I have to endlessly talk about whatever it is I like. Maybe it's ADHD. We'll never know. I'm not going to a doctor for that. But anyways, back on track. Go back to the root of why you love yourself. There is something you do in your life in which you see yourself as beautiful when you do it. Beautiful, infinite, just free. Okay? There is something that sets your soul on fire, and you gotta do it. You gotta do it, baby. If you're like too overrun by life, and every time your guides tell you have fun, you think that means go play on the slide. Like, no, it's not just go play on the slide or go swing on the swings and draw on the floor with chalk. Yeah, that's fun. And so is like coloring, but at the same time, that's not it. That's a band-aid. Like, you gotta go satiate your soul, dude. Especially if you haven't done it in a long time, because I know how hard it is to do anything, let alone do lots of things. And I completely understand why we would lose touch with our passions, because we all do. My boyfriend, when I met him 15 years ago, was attached to his guitar. It was part of him. He would just walk around with it all day, all night. He'd walk to school with his guitar, like walk to school playing the guitar, get to school, play the guitar all day, walk home with the guitar, hang out outside with it. You know what I mean? Like, attached. And now he picks it up maybe like once a day that I've seen, right? Maybe it's more when I'm not around, but that's just saying as we get older, things change, you know? Like, we don't have the time that we used to be able to do what we want to do, but we are being called today to I just saw the card at the bottom. We are being called today to make time. At least once, okay? Like, at least once. You can make time to do it once a month, once every 6 months, okay? You gotta schedule in some time for you. Like, once a week, once a month, once every 3 months, okay? Don't go past 3 months because that's extreme. Empress was at the bottom, and underneath the Empress card is strength. Ah, how cool.